Simmer down now.
I'm freaking out!
I just always love that intro, even though I don't like the name of this segment. But welcome back, guys. We're going to do some Big Apple Hockey impulsive reactions. And what we're going to be doing is a Big Apple Hockey All-Star swap tonight. We're going to name a team with an All-Star, and we're going to say either we're going to keep them or swap them out for something else. So let's start, Filk, with the New York Rangers and Igor Shesterkin. Are you keeping them or are you swapping them out for another player?
I'm swapping him out for Vinny Trocheck.
Agreed.
I don't think he's had that great of a year. He's been up and down. His struggles have been documented. Vinny Trocheck's a point per game player right now with their top line. I would obviously it should be Panarin, but Panarin won't be going because of expecting a newborn. So it's got to be Trocheck for me. No one else.
I agree 100% that it has to be Vinny Trocheck. First off, by the way, 43 points right now. He's at a point per game pace. Him and Panarin are humming together. By the way, everyone that cried about Ryan Strome, oh, what's it going to be with Panarin without Ryan Strome? Who cares? Vinny Trocheck is having a better season than Strome ever had with Artemi Panarin. And he's not a liability in the faceoff circle. But Trocheck I don't think he's ever been to the All-Star game. Should have had this ahead of time because he is the guy I'm picking. So put it down in the comments below whether or not he is. I'm not going to waste more time on that one. Florida, Sergei Bobrovsky, or are you going to take a different Panther?
Alex Barkov. I don't even have to think twice about that one. He's a Selke competitor, and I believe he's about a point per game too as well. Like, how are you like? He's got 46 points in 40 games, and he's probably going to win the Selke.
Now, Phil, even if you wanted to kind of spread the love, make somebody else a guy, and you know what, Matt, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. I'll send Carter Verhaeghe. 23 goals right now. He's having a really good season. Great for the Panthers the last 2 years. Send him. It's okay. If Barkov wants the weekend off, let him have the weekend off. He was an all-star plenty of times, but Verhaeghe would have been a good choice as well. Let's go to the Edmonton Oilers. They got Leon Draisaitl went in with the fan vote, and of course Connor McDavid. So would you keep Leon Draisaitl or swap him out for somebody else on that team?
No, I'm keeping Leon Draisaitl. I'm okay with keeping Draisaitl. I get why you would want to put Bouchard, but I'm more than okay with keeping Leon Draisaitl. I mean, I know his numbers are down compared to what he normally is. He's normally a guy that would probably have around 55 to 60 points right now. I'm okay with Draisaitl staying, but if you want to go with Evan Bouchard, I get it. 42 points in 40 games is pretty damn impressive because the last time an Edmonton Oiler defenseman had finished over a point per game, I think you would probably have to go back to Paul Coffey.
Again, I have no problems with Draisaitl. That I'm just thinking spread the wealth a little bit on this one. All right, so we'll ask Anthony again when he gets back on in. For the Islanders, Nat Barzal, you're swapping him out for somebody else.
Come on, man. I feel like we just answered this last week. It's Noah Dobson.
Yep.
We had mid-season MVPs. It's Noah Dobson. Noah Dobson's been their best player. He stepped up. He's taken a bulk of the defensive responsibilities with the injuries to Mayfield, Pollock, and Pellick. I mean, I feel like almost everybody on that – I mean, you could call that Islanders defense corps the walking wounded, and it would actually be pretty accurate. So, yeah, I'm going with Dobson, 43 points in 44 games, plus 16. Absolute layup.
Plus 16 on a team now, minus 20. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's how good he is. Probably, if he continues at this pace, he will be a Norris finalist.
That's amazing. And of course, the last one, Filk. I know it's not baseball, but you know how many players are on a baseball field? 9, because that's how many are going from the Maple Leafs and the Canucks. So do you swap out any of those guys, or are you going to keep them the way they are?
Morgan Riley was one of those guys that made it, right?
Yeah.
Ugh. God. Yeah. That's proof that the NHL system needs to be fixed. Yeah, Morgan Riley having a nice season, 35 points. But really him?
Yeah, it's one of those things, Phil. I got to say it like this. I understand it's in Toronto. I understand the fans voted on it. And it's reminiscent of, I think it was like 2010 or something like that when it was in Montreal. And you had the fans load the ballot boxes. Mike Komisarek and the entire Montreal starting lineup is up there with Sidney Crosby. And I'm okay with that slightly. But that's a 3 on, that was when it's 5-on-5. Now it's 3-on-3. And no, so you got to leave somebody out in the cold. Sorry if it's Mitch Marner, by the way. I mean, a lot of these guys, great players. It's just you can't throw everybody in there. Now on the Canucks, I'm not sure who to leave out on that one. I'm going to have to say the same thing. Sorry, we're going to have to leave somebody out. We got Brock Besser, who's got 27 goals. JT Miller, who's on pace for like 130 points. Elias Pettersson, who's playing better than he ever has before. And Quinn Hughes, who's leading all defensemen in scoring. Who do you throw out of there?
Miller is on pace for, let's see how many points exactly. 4 times that. 82. Miller's on pace for 112 points, which is really would be a career high for him. He'd be one of the rare Americans to break the 100-point mark. But I don't understand how. Listen. I'm totally against the whole everybody gets a nod thing. I can't, because in 1994 you had guys that were getting nods on teams that didn't even like. Why was anyone from Tampa Bay getting a nod in 94? Like, that whole thing needs to stop.
All right, but wait, let me ask you about this, Phil. Let's say you're playing on a team that they're a bottom feeder team. You're doing your best. You're playing out of your mind. Let's say if you had Connor McDavid on the San Jose Sharks right now, and he's putting up numbers, but he's playing well. He's not getting the numbers, let's say, Leon Draisaitl is getting. Why shouldn't they send him as a representative? Or like, there are sometimes bad teams have good players having good times.
Well, yeah, I mean, Florida in 1994 sent Bob Kudelski to the All-Star game, and he ended up having a 40-goal year that year. It's just an age-old issue where you're getting that one player that's playing on a bad team, and I get that the NHL wants exposure and they want all markets watching it, so that's why they continue to do it this way. But at some point, why are we snubbing the players that are really putting up the monster seasons that deserve it for the guys who are not doing that? And yeah, they may be on bad teams and they may be playing well, but it's all-star, not all very good. I just think the process has become diluted a bit.
And on the other hand, though, you could have the same debate if you swap Dan Marino and Joe Montana, or is he winning four?
Not the example you want to use, my friend. Dan Marino was on mediocre teams, and he turned those mediocre teams into great teams and put up insane numbers for his era.
Well, you got one of Anthony's favorite guys he loves to use in Puck Doku, Sergei Krivokrasov, in there, and welcome back in, Ant. That's good to have you in. Anthony, what do you think about, well, first, the All-Star rule that every team needs to be represented?
I mean, I can go either, take that or leave it. I mean, my issue is that the whole selection process is just piss poor. I mean, I'm not even going to get into the fan vote portion of it yet, but like, for instance, Artemi Panarin is very deserving, right? But his wife's having a kid, so he opted not to go. Why on earth did the NHL select Igor Shesterkin and his .904 save percentage as the Rangers representation? Why wouldn't it be Vinny Trocheck, who's a point per game? Like, why wouldn't it be him? I mean, the fact that they picked like Igor just goes to show that these All-Star games sometimes are just based on your name and what you've done prior. I mean, not a knock on Igor, because Sorokin's in the same boat, but he didn't deserve to be an All-Star this year. So the league, even the league selecting the players is just really, really bizarre and doesn't make any sense to me. And then the fan vote. I mean, I get the All-Star game is all about fan engagement and the kids and all that stuff. So I get you want to have the fans participate. But
Please like and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of great hockey content and an entertaining interactive podcast. So check us out and our library of videos.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.